Hello people of the internet, Radio Cheese here back again, and today I'm going to show off, well, as you can probably tell, another tutorial video. But today's tutorial video is going to be a little bit different as I'm actually going to explain the character behind the mock a little bit. And as you can tell today we're going through it, well, from the title, we're going to do a reoccurring character. And that reoccurring character would be Omega. And as you can tell by the big Frio at the top of the screen. Omega is a very, very old build which I created about 5 years ago, based off a Russian designer on Pinterest. Now, this robot design, well, not this one specifically as this is 3.0, but the robot design this is based off was one that I just found magnificent. It inspired me, it put me in awe, I loved it so much to the point where I just made my own version, like I said, 5 years ago, and I've been upgrading him ever since. But yeah, here he is. Omega is essentially just this big, chonky, tanky boy who looks after the professor in some way. From any harm, such as threats, just anything the professor's doing to be a twat, you know, the usual stuff. Compared to the actual size of the original Russian design, well, I say original, but slightly modified design, he's significantly taller. I'll show you him just now. Let me just sort the lighting as well. Sorry that the camera quality is a little bit sharp, but yeah, I guess it's better than not actually recording at all, huh? But yeah, here's the smaller design made by the Russian designer. And as you can see, there's definitely some resemblance between the two. But at the same time, some significant upgrades, like for instance, on the newer model, the chest piece here is replaced with a droid body and has additional plating rather than using the illegal building technique using this T... I'm just going to call it a T-pipe because I can't remember how to pronounce how you pronounce where it comes from, or what it's called even. If you look towards the shoulder, we actually have articulation in the elbow, and I know it's not aligned perfectly with the human anatomy, but it's a bloody robot. It's not supposed to be aligned perfectly. But I did keep that kind of circular shape, similar to how the tap works on the original model. With the newer legs, I decided to add additional plating, obviously for protection, and, well, shin guards are quite useful for protection. I decided to add minifigure hands on either feet for increased stability, due to, well, added height and weight means it's more easy to lose your weight. Well, not lose your weight, lose your balance now. I gave him a little cape, to act kind of like a trench coat. That's just for extra badass points. I modified, well, on the original model, I put a spine on the actual model itself because I couldn't see behind, as there were only 1 or 2 pictures, but none of them were ever shown from behind, so I just kind of improvised from that point of view. But on the newer model, that spine, which I should really use air quotations for, is now actually additional back plating, which protects the center, also known as like the neck or like tube area that leads up to the head. And, well, yeah, that's just about all of the upgrades I can think of at the top of my head. Compared to the size of a minifigure, I think he's actually quite tall. Wait, if I find my sig fig somewhere, wherever I put him. Compared to the height of a minifigure, this guy actually stands fairly tall. Like, well, when I say fairly tall, I should probably say, I don't know, double the bloody size. Yeah, this guy is absolutely huge. And it just kind of emphasizes the fact that he's an absolute Chad destroyer unit. Like, he is genuinely a tank on legs. And if I can't emphasize that anymore by making him double the size of a normal person, then there's only one other way I can do that. And that one other way, of course, is just by giving him a shit ton of guns. See? Just simple stuff like that, really. I think he looks fairly... well... not too OP, maybe? I don't know, well... maybe just a little bit. Just a tad? Maybe? Well, On the plus side, Omega's one of those few builds which every creator comes to build in their life where, well, not every creator, but, well, probably. I don't know really, but for me personally, out of my own experience, Omega is one of those very few builds which I refuse to refuse to break. I just genuinely love every aspect about the design, and there's a few little features on him if you haven't already noticed already. Like, you can actually attach certain weapons to his back and onto his side, if you can see those little pistols on the side as well. And yeah, he's one of the very few builds that I enjoy that much. I actually gave a wide arsenary to, which is, in my opinion, both absolutely terrifying, but looking at it from this point of view, absolutely ridiculous at the same time. But that's just my kind of building style. It's overly serious, but overly stupid. But anyway, you guys are probably here for the whole tutorial thing, and I've been muttering on for a little bit too long, so I'll say it's about time we got to the tutorial, don't you think? Yeah. These are all the parts you are going to need to assemble Omega, so I would highly advise you pause the video now and, well, take your time to go get the parts. You know the drill. Okay, so starting off nice and simple, we will be working on the leg segment of the build, and the leg I'm going to be building is, the right leg, but you guys can build it whichever way you want, and, well, seeing as you're going to build two of these, you might as well just get all the parts ready now. But the way we're going to do this is, first off, we're going to take this headlight brick, attach this tile with a clip on top, just into that little circle area there. Yeah, let me just focus it. There we go, now you can see nice and clear. And what we're going to do next, so we're going to attach this little claw here, and this minifigure hand to the back of the claw. That's going to act as like the kind of foot of the build, if you can see that. Add a bar piece here, well, gold bar as they are called in LEGO, I think. Want to place a hanger on top of this, not on top, but on the back of this headlight brick, because, you know, they're kind of weirdly built. That's the bottom segment of the leg done. To do the top segment, we need this modified 1x1 with a bar connection, and this 1x1 tile here, again. Another little robot hand, just clip him into there. See? Nice and snug. Take this little tile stud and this normal stud, and voila! That is one leg done. Now, obviously, he's not going to stand very well all by himself, but I've also built the second one behind camera, so I'll catch up with you guys in a second. Well, you catch up with me even. So yeah, I will see you on the arm part. Now then, onto the arm segment of the build. The arms, I'd say, are probably the easiest, well, nah, they just are the easiest part of the build. Only composing of 6 pieces after all. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this 1x1 rounded handlebar piece, I think it's called, and you want to attach that to this new 1x1 with a bar coming out, or as I like to call it, the spoon. And on top of this spoon, you're going to place another 1x1 rounded tile, just like from the knees, just in a different colour as well. Attach a robot hand here to this little handlebar piece, and then you want to attach the robot arm onto that robot hand, which is a bit odd, but it still works. It's not like the original Exo4 style. And then you want to take this Technic bush, at least that's what I think it's called, either Technic bush or washer, and you just want to slide it onto that little bar piece there. That just kind of acts as a, oh, what's the word called again? Oh, I can't be asked to think of it, but I think it's a washer, I don't know. And, well, obviously, if you want to have 2 arms, you're going to want to build 2 of these, so yeah, you get into that whilst I set up the body part. So, if you actually did follow the instructions like a big brain, genuine human being, then you should have all these parts left over. But if you're not a big brain human being, then I apologise for insulting your kind, I didn't mean to. But, anywho, let's get into this. So, first things first, we're going to start with the droid body, because well, of course, from the original model, this is exactly what I used for reference, and this is exactly where I started the classic droid body, where everything just attaches itself. So first, we're going to take this robot hand and attach it to where the legs are usually attached to. I'm going to take these 3 studs with holes in them. I'm going to place them all on top of that one robotic hand. Just like that. Now on top of that robotic hand, let me just push him down a little bit. You want to take this Zane head from Season 4 of Ninjago. At least I think it's Season 4 of Ninjago. I can't exactly remember. And maybe you're looking a little bit cursed at the moment, but it does come together. Then you want to attach a normal motorbike helmet just on top of the Zane head, and of course some of this Spec Ops gear head attachment thing. Yeah, that onto the helmet. Now let's just put him here for now. You can admire him in all of his cursedness. Next, we're going to want to make the torso section. To do that, we just need 2 of these clips, like that and that, on either side. I'm going to swap these around because this one's a little bit more loose. Of course, you might not run into the same problem, so you just wait for a second. You want to take these Technic 1x2 lift arms and attach them into this section here, and this section here, where the droid's arms are usually kept, as in Battle Droid, of course. And, well, this piece here just attaches via stud. Very simple, but very effective. Has a little bit more bulk to the build already, a little bit less cursed. And now, finally for the back, you're going to take this skeleton arm in black. This new power-up piece, which I got in black recently from a Venom figure. Very handy indeed. This last little clip here, and then this handlebar piece from quad bikes or motorbikes or any type of vehicle really, not even a vehicle. And this little cape, you want to just slot this little skeleton arm into both holes, just like you would a minifigure's neck. And then attach that via the neck joint on the bottom droid body. Now, this is one of my favourite parts, because, well, not onto it just yet, but when we come to full construction, you'll see why the handlebar is, like, one of my favourite parts. Ooh. But yeah, there's Omega's body. Hello! Now, if you follow every single step of the tutorial just like I showed you, you should have this sitting in front of you. And basically what you want to do with this is you want to form it into a giant mech suit Voltron Power Ranger looking Omega destruction tool of coolness. Yeah. So what you got to do is attach one leg onto that part of the droid torso. That's the one. And that kind of acts like the hip. And these 2 legs are surprisingly really sturdy and hold up the model very well. So like, yeah, even if I were to bang the table, he'd still be upright. These arms slot into these Technic pins right here, and this is what I love, right? Because when you do this, the back just kind of lines up perfectly with the handlebar. Sorry about the shitty camera quality, I know it's poo-poo, but phone is phone and video is video, so stop complaining. And obviously you want to put the other arm into the other side, and there you have Omega. Now, the best part about Omega isn't just necessarily his character or the fact that he looks like a genuine badass already, but it's the fact that he's actually surprisingly customizable. And when I say that, I don't mean like, just put a bunch of stickers all over him, spray paint him and that. When I say that, I mean as in like, you can make a bunch of different variants out of him, like using different color pieces, different types of facial expressions or face prints, different headgear. It doesn't even have to be a minifigure head. You could make your own robotic head if you really wanted to. You could even use any of these connection points just to attach bits and pieces to. And that's what I really like. In fact, speaking of these attachment points, I might as well show you whilst I've got them up here. But of course I'll cut the video so you can get a better camera angle first. Due to Omega's many little clip areas, he is actually surprisingly, well, good at holding weapons, because, well, I have 3 weapons here. This weapon was designed by a Star Wars YouTuber, Lego Star Wars YouTuber, I forgot the name of, and these 2 are just very, very overcommon generic pistols, but you may have noticed that in all of these little builds, I've decided to modify them just by adding one piece, a minifigure hand. Now, just by adding that one little piece, right, I've just opened up a whole gateway of coolness. Because by doing that, I can now attach these two pistols on either side of Omega's hip. Just by this little spare area that's on the robot claw, which attaches to the main section of the legs. Just like that. And they sit there just pretty snug off to the sides. Not really, well, they are pretty noticeable, but just doing their own little thing, you know? And I think it suits it pretty well. Especially if you, well, I can do it right now, but if I was to get into some more like dynamic poses and all that, you look a hell of a lot more cooler. And yeah, that sometimes happens as well, so apologies if that does happen. You're just gonna have to kind of deal with that. And this weapon here, I have actually managed to put on this handlebar, which I didn't actually intend to do at first. And he just kind of sits there as well, similar to how the Master Chief from the Halo games holds his assault rifle on his back in his cutscenes, who was also a very, very big influence and inspiration for this character's, well, character. But yeah, that's Omega for you. If you like the video, I would really, really appreciate it if you like, subscribe and share. I know you hear it everywhere, but the appreciation is unreal, especially from me, because I got that anxiety shit going on, and sometimes it's hard for me to get my words out there. And it's just knowing that people appreciate my videos, it's reassuring, it's nice, and it's calming. And it just motivates me a hell of a lot more to make videos like this and similar to it. Hell, I could even show you some more variants of Omega if you like in the future. I could show you how to build his weapons in another video. All sorts. It's just about commenting, really. Just telling me what you want. But yeah, that's Omega for you. I really hope you enjoyed the build. I hope I wasn't too much of a pain to you, or spoke too much, or whatever I did wrong, or whatever I could have done wrong, because, just screw it. Hope you enjoyed yourselves, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you again so much for watching. Alright, ta-la now.